feel like we're an excellent company. Stanford, Loyola, Penn State are marvelous volleyball teams and programs, and excited to be here to compete this weekend. In fact, what for us has been a remarkable regular season and a very, what I thought was well-played tournament championship. I thought the boys were really, just worked really hard the weeks prior to that, and were highly focused and kind of saw the results of a whole season of good practices and dedication to good principles and kind of to our values.
All right, we'll open it up.
And the question begs, of course, to the other side of you as well. It's hard to beat a team once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. 4 times is tough.
As good a team as Stanford is, I think it certainly is. I think the thing that's maybe perhaps, the counterpoint to that is that's their experience, and is playing BYU and us playing really well. And so that's hopefully what they remember, and that's what's in the backs of their minds is, boy, we played really well against them, and BYU played great. And BYU answered at every point, and in the tough moments, BYU was the team that was able to turn some things. And so, it's obviously, it's really hard to beat them once, let alone multiple times. But I think the thing that I like about the fact that we won all those is just kind of the message that's in our heads and the message, perhaps, maybe I'm reading too much into it, but that's in their heads.
When we saw you last, me personally saw you last, was in the championships last year. And to lose your teammate to the mission and think that you guys would be back here in this situation seemed kind of far-fetched at that time. Is that fair for an outside observer? And what have you done to get,
Yeah, I mean, it's super hard losing Ben.
Yeah.
He brought so much to our team, but, we were able to work hard this year and do things to replace him. And, we put together an amazing season without him. And so, he's a big loss, but at the same time, we've been able to do a good job at replacing him and, creating this team that can still win a national championship.
Specifically, like you say, do things. What are some of the things? And some of the people, in your opinion?
Tim Dauber has come in. He does a great job at blocking and attacking. And so, Ben has a lot more offense than Tim, but, he's been able to, work into our offense, and we've been able to win in different ways other than, Ben killing the ball.
And it's, in your case as a coach, that would be a huge challenge to come back.
We had some personnel in the gym, and it's been interesting to look at that position. Tim has kind of, solidified that spot over the last maybe 4 to 5 weeks, but we've had big contributions from 3 different guys in that spot. Carson Henninger came in and won matches for us, basically, at the start of the year. He had a match against a 5-setter against Irvine, where he was the one that won the match for us. And we had Matt Underwood come in as a sub against Santa Barbara at home and play really well. And Matt has played great in a number of different matches. And so I think having the competition at that position and the fact that we were kind of acutely aware that we needed to do a good job of training and we needed to do a good job kind of focusing on what those guys, helping those guys become better. And then at the start of the year, we talked about it. We said, look, Ben is this big offensive presence, and he's going to make you, your jaw drop 3 or 4 times a match with what he can do athletically. But let's take a look at the overall picture and see if we can put together a point-scoring package that kind of replicates what he was able to do. And so I think all of those guys serve pretty good. They play okay defense. Like Taylor referenced, Tim's a nice right-side blocker over there. And so the combination of doing some things besides hitting the ball, I think is kind of, it doesn't substitute for Ben, but certainly has done a nice job to complement the rest of the team.
Coach, looking at your team this year, Vane Lips here from Off the Block, looking at your team this season, you were amazing at home, undefeated on the road, 7-8. Why were there so many struggles on the road for you guys this year?
It's hard in our league to go on the road. It's hard when we came out here. These are good teams out here, and you just get out of rhythm and you get into their home environment, and it's tough. It's really competitive. And at the end of the year, we went on the road 2 successive weekends and played good teams, 3 of which were on their senior nights, so they've got all this emotion and build-up going on. And we turned around to go to Southern California after coming off a Hawaii trip where we got in on a red eye on a Monday morning and then turned around on a Thursday to go play. And it's difficult. The road trips like that are hard and they're physically demanding, and then you go play teams that are wonderful teams. And so the fact that we lost on the road wasn't surprising. Guys, teams in their gym are really, really good, and the level of competition in our conference is so high that if you're not, at your best at those moments, it's not inconceivable that you can put up some L's.
Right. And talking about one of your road matches earlier this season, you played Loyola. How much of an advantage do you feel it's going to be for you guys this season that you've had an opportunity to play in this arena going to your semifinal match?
It's hard for me to quantify that necessarily. Certainly, there's probably an advantage, how much of which I couldn't venture to say. But, it's good for us there's something about having some familiarity with, hey, we know where to park and we know how to walk into the gym and we know where we're going around campus, and just not having kind of walking around wondering what's going on for the first time, but having some familiarity just with the environment. I think there's subtle value in that, but, we'll take, like we said, any subtleties that we can get to help us, with a little bit of an advantage.
Last year, I know it was a really tough way to end. I remember how upset you were at the end of that. For both of you guys, just what this means to you and the fact that you're seniors.
Last year was a bummer, and you worked so hard all year, and to come up, a couple points short in each set is frustrating. And so, we've really learned from that, and we've got some experience to carry on into this tournament, and we're just excited, to play with our team as seniors.
Yeah, same. It's just, like you said, it was a terrible feeling last year to be on that court and another team celebrating a national championship. And so we definitely learned from that, and that's driven us this whole year to get back to where we're at now. Like you said, we don't have the same personnel, the same All-Americans we had last year, but I think just remembering that has been able to push us this year.